Extraordinary, absolutely extraordinary. And Obi Ezekwesili is still here with me. Just tell us what happened.
So, the petitioner on behalf of who had to sign Senator Natasha Apoti Uduaghan's petition to the Senate, according to what they call the rules of the Senate, Mr. Suberu Zamaruma, was before the Senate Ethics Committee, and Dr. Abiola Akiode Afolabi, quite a erudite lawyer and a woman activist, was there as his counsel. I was there as chair of the global body known as the Women Political Leaders. It's based in Brussels, but it is the global body of all women who have been presidents or who are presidents or prime ministers, parliamentarians, and members of cabinet of countries. So it's the global flagship for women political leadership. And so I was there as a witness on her side, on the basis of the expert knowledge that we have of this issue around the world. It is based on data that this is a problem. 1 out of every 3 women have faced one form of sexual-based violence or the other. And so a lot of countries are paying serious attention to it because it is quite inimical to society. And so in that regard, the petitioner, when we got there, and he and the witnesses were given a seat, then the petitioner started by saying that he had objections on the basis of which he wanted the Senate committee to consider his objections before he would go ahead and engage on his petition. And the Senate committee said, according to the rules of the Senate, we're not here to listen to your objection. We are just here to listen to the petition you wrote. You're the petitioner. It was a long...
And this was somebody who seconded the petition, is that right? Because,
so,
I mean, obviously...
according to their rules...
She signed, I mean, she submitted the petition. She wasn't there.
But she can't sign.
Yeah, he sort of seconded
so he had to sign it. So, on the basis of that, there was a lot of rigmarole, and all the senators were doing in that committee was doing everything to let us know that the rules would make it difficult for the right of a citizen who was saying that, number one, I object on the basis of the fact that members of this Senate, especially the chair, had at various times already taken public positions on the petition of my senator. I am her constituent, and I feel injured by what has happened. And number two, I object on the basis of the fact that because of the use of the rules of the Senate as a basis to trample on the rights of my senator, she is not here as the principal witness for me to make this presentation today. And so I want that my senator should be invited. But because you have violated her constitutional rights, ruled against the law, the judicial precedents, where a senator cannot be suspended by the Senate for 6 months, I don't have her here. And so he made this very strong case, and the senators still insisted that, in fact, the word they used was, we're serious, we do serious things here. We don't have time for unserious things. At which time I had my hand up and I said, I actually think that that's a wrong use of word. We are not unserious people. And this is a serious matter. And, many conversations carried on. Eventually, the the Senate Ethics Committee decided that, based on the fact that the petitioner was saying that he wasn't going to go into his main petition until they assured him on the two objections that he had. They said, and that it meant that we were not ready to engage on the matter. And then suddenly also said, oh, by the way, this matter is sub judice because there are two cases in court. They mentioned the case by the wife of the Senate president, and that on the basis of that, they actually really shouldn't. So it was at that time that Dr. Abiola said, then what was the basis of...
Yeah, what's the point of being here? of convening this hearing?
And while all of that was going on, then this senator, whom I will not acknowledge by mentioning his name at all.
Well, his name is Senator Nwaiboy.
That's okay. But, he then said, well, if they are not serious about giving any testimony, I am here representing the Senate president as a respondent, and that I am prepared to speak because, we can't continue with this. So I said to him, can you please shut up? Because, we were just told that we couldn't speak, and you have been speaking without any form of an equivalent treatment. Said we couldn't speak because we were not ready to go into any conversation without the objections being addressed. So when I said that...
So let me just get this. You said to him to shut his mouth.
Yes.
And that was what provoked the Senate.
He was already provoked.
Right.
He was provoked because he spoke...
But he went from being a spark of a tinderbox into a roaring flame.
Precisely. So he was already provoked by the fact that he felt we were not serious.
Right.
He said, in fact, part of what inflamed it was that the petitioner then said, oh, by the way, it is this senator that made a lot of statements about my senator and in words that were not complimentary. So already he was charged. And so on the basis of that, when I said to him, we're talking, so just, hold your peace.
Yeah.
He fled and then began to release all that he released, showing the kind of level of indecorous personalities that we do have within our public space.
That was quite extraordinary, I have to say. I mean, that the outburst and the kinds of things that were said, I would never in a million years have expected that to have happened, not only